Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Scottish National Network podcast. My name is Bogdan Bratis, and I'm going to be your host. Quite an unusual position I'm into right now because I'm usually not hosting podcasts. I'm usually the guy behind the scene of the podcast. I'm producing the podcast and taking care of all the technicalities. Today, I have here a special guest. I have Lynn Hunter, who is the owner of the Scottish National Network. And we're going to discuss about what this network is about and the history of the network, what benefits you would get from this network. I actually attended this network back in February, I believe, the first time I decided to move here in Glasgow, and meeting the local people, meeting the business owners in this amazing city was quite a great experience for me. And what would be the best way to do it than going to a network like the SNN? So I have Lynn Hunter here. I'm gonna introduce her. So Lynn Hunter, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Bogdan, and thanks very much for the introduction. That was really kind of you.
I'm very nervous, so.
Aren't we all? Yes. So, about myself, I've been in business for a long time. I grew my business through networking. I see the real value significance of making connections with people. People buy from people, never more so now, particularly when social media has taken over the entire capacity of most business owners. They forget that making actual physical contact and talking to somebody is what you need to be able to sustain a business.
Yeah, that's exactly what I felt when I went to the Scottish National Network the first time I attended the event. The amount of connection you get in one single hour or 2 hours is just insane. You meet like-minded people, and basically you align your frequency with all these people, and obviously you keep in touch on social media as well. And obviously, there's loads of opportunities that could come from joining this event. So I'm really interested to kind of like find more about how this event got started. How did you start this event?
Well, it was just over 3 years ago. It was during COVID. As I said, I started working for myself a way back many years ago, and I was part of a large organisation, networking organisation, which was phenomenal, which now no longer exists. And I just felt there was a lot of online forums out there, but there was nothing face-to-face. And albeit, yes, we were in restrictions at the time. So when we first started it in it was July 2021, we started it with only like 10 folk there, and we all had to be spaced out. But it was very evident that folk were desperate to meet folk physically rather than online because they'd been fed up with it. So it gravitated from there. Over a period of time, we were lucky enough to have access to the Virgin Money Lounge in Royal Exchange Place. But unfortunately for us, Virgin decided to close that building down. We had free access for the building, and the network groups, they were phenomenal. At times we had maybe up to 50 people at each individual speed networking event, which was phenomenal. I mean, the buzz in the room, you had to be there to believe it. And then over the course of the last 12 months, we've been at Hampden Park, which again, iconic venue, and has encouraged a lot of people to come out. Free parking, easy to find, and the connections that they make because of the fact every time they come along, they meet different people. It's just the feedback we've been getting on social network has been really, really fantastic.
That's amazing. So I joined this network in February, and I didn't know what to expect when I went to the event. I was, I think this was the first networking event I ever attended, to be honest. And I didn't know what to do exactly as a business owner to make the most of this event. So what would you recommend business owners when they attend these kind of events? What they should do, like some tips?
We can see that from the novices that arrive when they're thrown in at the deep end. Each individual attendee is asked to do a 30-second pitch on name who they are and what they do.
I'm terrible at that, by the way.
Everybody's normally fine, but we make everybody do it. It breaks the ice. And then the difference with us is we do speed networking. So basically, it basically means that you get the opportunity to speak to somebody for 2 minutes, and then it's reversed. And then they speak to you for 2 minutes, and then you move and speak to somebody else. That's where the cacophony of sounds in the room is pretty phenomenal. But the difference is you're not stuck in the corner talking to somebody
just
about
to one person. Yeah,
how they take their dog out for walks, or anything else that they just don't feel it's related to the business. And you think, how do I get to speak to that person over at the other end who I know that's why I've come to this room to speak to? There's the connection I want to make. So the way we run our networking meetings allows each individual person to speak to every single person in the room.
I remember the first time that happened. I think I was halfway through, and I think it was like 20 minutes already into the speed networking, and I wanted a glass of water. I was talking so much, and I was like, I had to go. So basically, I would say like one of the tips, my personal tip would be to get a glass of water with you when you do that, because you're gonna talk so much, your mouth is gonna get dry, and you won't be able to talk anymore after that. So yeah.
Well, we just try to keep endless cups of coffees and waters going, but you find that you forget to go and pick it up because you're so busy talking about your business, because everybody's so passionate about what they do.
So what are some of the most common challenges faced by Scottish businesses, and how does the SNN help address them?
Okay, I think one of the most Scottish challenges is, I've mentioned this before, and people either throw their hands up in horror or they not. A lot of the newer businesses that are coming on board just now relying on social channels to create, their business channels. Social channels are extortionately busy right now because everybody uses them. And your message could perhaps be lost. It's a great way to be able to promote your business, but you've got to remember the bolts and braces of how business is done by getting out there and meeting folk.
They say that, for example, if you have 1,000 followers on your social media, you post, let's say, just a normal post, it actually reaches maybe 5% of this network you have. So what, 1,000 people won't literally give you enough reach, and from these people maybe not all of them are actually interested in what you have to say. So when you go to these kind of networking events, you're actually finding exactly the type of people you want to talk to, and you actually build meaningful connections. It's not just a post, it's not just a like, it's not a poke, it's nothing like that, it's not a comment. It's literally talking to people, real people, and is quite good when it happens like that, because real connections are the building blocks of any business, any partnerships, clients, anything that you think about when you're building your business. You need people to do that, right?
Yeah, totally. And it is very much a case of you don't know who you're speaking to. So that particular person might not actually have, in my particular case, meeting Bogdan's absolutely phenomenal, really pleased he's a member. However, who was I to have thought we would be sitting here doing podcasts and everything else that's related to it? But the point is, Bogdan and I have already been speaking this morning about the relationships that we've putting forward in terms of, do you know who's part of this network? This is what we could do. This is how you could do things moving on. So it actually creates a ripple effect. And it's up to you as the individual, whoever you are, when you become part of the Scottish National Network, to make those connections.
It's like the butterfly effect. You know, when you move, like there's a butterfly somewhere in California flying, and that wind is basically starts to propagate into bigger and bigger events, and it could end up like creating an earthquake on the other side of the world. That's kind of like the same with networking. You talk to somebody, that person will remember you, and you never know when that person will recommend you to somebody else or anything like that. So yeah, that's really, really cool. Can you share a particular success story? Let's say somebody that joined this event and actually got something meaningful out of it.
Okay, listen, there's been quite a few where we've heard, not making specifics, where they've come along and they've met so many folk, and then they've come back and said, look, we've made the connections and we've actually done business with each other because of the fact that we've spent time getting to know each other. We swapped business cards, and after the event, we made sure we followed it through, because that's the part that folk have to remember. Just walking out the room, you just don't leave it at that. You've got to follow through and make sure that the folk you met that day remember you. You know, just don't connect with them on LinkedIn. Make sure you try to get a meeting with them to carry on. For an individual, I'm just trying to think, there's been so many instances. Personally, I would think it's been put in front with different clients. With my own company, what I do, it's allowed me to be able to increase the client base that I've had, just because of the fact we've had so many folk in the area that I work in coming along to the network meetings, and I've been able to pitch my own business. So, okay, that's just me. There are a lot of other instances in terms of the opportunities that are out there. We've got a new member coming on board just now, one of the major charities. We've already been discussing how we can support them, what we can do, and all the different types of initiatives we've got coming up in the next 12 months where we can both support each other to make sure that the charity itself is going to get as much out of the network as we can provide to them.
That's great. There's some regular people that join this event, but there's also new people every
Yes,
time. I would
yes.
say it's more of a 50-50. 50% are the regular ones that come every time, and 50% are like completely new faces. So obviously with the people that you already met in the previous event, you have another chance to communicate even more and to network even more and to build even more meaningful connections. And obviously with the new ones, if they come along, whatever. But it's one of the things that I learned myself is connect with them even after. So don't leave and then don't talk to anyone and then you come to the next event. So you definitely want to reach out right after that, if you felt like you connected very well with somebody, and then just talk, like maybe get on a coffee or something. Yeah.
Well, listen, I don't think this gentleman will mind if I tell you the story. Noel Finesse, he's a photographer. I met Noel about 2 years ago. Right, okay. But I'm telling you, what a lovely man. I remember meeting him at an event and he was just sitting there by himself. And I thought, I'm going to go and speak to this man. Right, okay. And he told me his story. He had an eye for Malta and he was a photographer. He'd never been to any of the events. It wasn't one of our events, it was somebody else's events. So I invited him along to one of ours. And he will be the first to tell you that the connections he has made and the business he has got because he took the first steps of coming to one of our business networking meetings and talking to folk. He'd never done that before.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge success story for us. And I think Noel will be the first to agree that the network did help him build his client base over the course of the last years.
I already talked to him last event that I want to take some headshots for myself, because on each and every picture on LinkedIn I look literally like a 17-year-old person. So I said I need some new headshots because nobody's going to take me seriously otherwise. But as you can see, so loads of connections, and you find people, whatever you need, right, to take from other people, services, whatever, and then whatever they need from you as well. So that's really good.
I'll tell you one thing about the network, we're inclusive, right?
Yeah.
There are several networks that have come out just now that you have to apply to become a member. And I don't think in this day and age that's appropriate. We personally feel that any business owner who needs to support in maintaining and creating a business needs a network of supplies.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I noticed. There's some folks there that have they are small business owners like myself, for example, medium business owners, large business owners. So you're not stuck into just a group of small business owners or just medium business owners. So you can find all sorts of people. Like I think at the last event, there was a representative coming from...
With the Bank of Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've had Barclays Bank, we've got Virgin Bank. Yeah, I mean, yes, the corporate side of the attendees is pretty significant and allows you introductions into the folk that you need to have who will assist you in growth aspirations. And irrespective of the fact that you do connect with people, if you want to take your business to another level, having these connections to advise or for them to advise you to speak to another colleague is something you cannot ignore.
That's amazing. So how does the future of SNL look like?
Well, it was always our plans to extend across Scotland. Last year, we had regular meetings in Edinburgh, which were really, really great. We had them at Murrayfield. But unfortunately for us, Murrayfield decided that they would extend the costs significantly. So it wasn't fair to pass that on to members and non-members. It just wasn't feasible.
And just want to mention, like, it's really affordable to join this event. Like,
yes,
literally,
it is.
It's just a nominal fee, and it doesn't, like, it feels like you get loads of value for nothing almost.
Well, yeah, we're conscious of the fact there's a price point we don't want to go beyond. So we have to partner up with businesses that will allow us to have access to their facilities to allow us to have meetings. So moving forward, as I say, Edinburgh, Dundee, Aberdeen are our new focuses for next year, and then hopefully Inverness. We will also be starting in the new year for all our members the first Tuesday in every month, we'll have a membership coffee morning at the Bank of Scotland in Argyle Street.
Yeah.
Everybody's free to come along and have a coffee and just have a chat, so we can talk about policies that we feel that might be coming out of the government that we're not happy with or not. We've got to start lobbying. I used to do a lot of lobbying at the Scottish Government, so it's something that's really easy to do, but if we want to put our voice out there, then we can. That's where the membership will allow us to do it. So we're trying to put in these types of events and in different areas that will encourage businesses of all sizes to be able to drop their thoughts and processes into.
Talking about events, what are the next events, like the immediate events this year and maybe next year?
Well, moving forward for next year, the biggest event we've got will be on the 5th of June, which will be our awards ceremony at Hampden, where we'll be recognise the achievements of quite a few businesses. And most of all, we've got Eddie the Eagle Edwards coming along, inspirational Olympian who went through all barriers to become worldwide famous many moons ago in the Olympics in Canada. So we're listening to Eddie and his story, how no form of adversity stopped him doing what he did. And that's a great sort of mantra to go forward for any businesses when you get to the point where you say you've had enough. If Eddie can jump off a 90-foot jump for the very first time, I think we can do whatever we need to do. So we've got that, and then, as I say, we will have our normal speed networking events in the different locations that we're hoping to host them. We'll also have our social networking events.
I never attended the social one, so I'm really curious.
Well, it was Flight Club, the Flight Club in Glasgow, which is on George Square. Last Thursday in every month, come along, have a couple of drinks, have as much pizza, have 3 hours of darts play and network. And as a member, it costs you £20. You can't even get in the door for Flight Club for that. So, I mean, it's, that's the sort of thing we were doing. And it was, max numbers are about 30, but phenomenal. Really, really great. If you look back on the posts on LinkedIn where all the footage went up, really great. So that's starting again in the new year. And as I say, we'll have the awards. We're having some small private suppers where we'll have keynote speakers coming along in different venues. It is very much a case of we're hoping to create a Scottish National Tribe across Scotland for all businesses.
That's amazing. I love that. So obviously access to the events, to any type of event. What other perks do you get by becoming a member of the SNN?
Okay, becoming a member, then you get access to slightly cheaper tickets because we don't charge a lot, but it just means you get it cheaper than a non-member. For instance, when we're at Hampden, I think it was £9 if you're a member, but you get your breakfast for that as well. I'll throw that in, free parking and 3 hours of networking. And if it's a non-member, £13.50. Okay, so we've got that. For the awards ceremony, the tickets will be significantly discounted for members. And for our suppers, the suppers will more than likely just be restricted to members so that you can come along and meet somebody that's a bit special that you might want to think, that person I really would like to speak to. So maybe the members themselves can introduce us to folk that they would like to come along and be inspirational, talk to us at, a supper, because I think that would be, I used to do that years ago, and it was the connections made for something like that go deep and last long.
Good, awesome. And by the way, we met this year, and we decided to start this podcast, and we are going to interview members of the SNN on the podcast, completely free. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I think that's a phenomenal opportunity that Bolton's actually created for us. Can you imagine? You've got your own business. You're wanting to get your message out. How do I do it? Well, we use social channels. Great. I get to speak people. Fantastic. But what else do I need to put the icing on the cake? Well, make yourself live, make yourself more personable. And I think that's what the podcast can do. We've got a couple of members already lined up, which again, I think will be phenomenal, telling their stories, who they are. One's a charity, one's a worldwide company and a corporate based company, how they can offer all the opportunities you can out there to local businesses. So it's very much a case of being able to tune in and see how the member podcasts can create many advantages for your own business.
It is a great opportunity for every single member to come at a podcast, because this is the next phase of networking, I would say. After you chat with everybody at the network, obviously you can come to the podcast. That's another phase of the networking, because podcasting could be networking as well. Obviously, the audience benefits from the podcast, but the people that are chatting, usually discover more, and you talk to your guests, to your host, and you discover even more during the chat, during the podcast. And I think that's really powerful.
Maybe we can persuade you to come along and do live podcasts and
That would
filming.
be
Maybe
great.
we come to the Flight Club so the rest of Scotland can see exactly what the Scottish National Network get up to on a Thursday night.
That's amazing. Yep. So for anyone listening who's interested in joining or attending events, what's the first step they should take?
Simple. Download the app, Scottish National Network, from the App Store or from Android. It's online.
We're going to put a link in the show notes and in the description. Anywhere you're going to watch this podcast, you're going to have access to the link directly, so you can download it on iPhone and
Android.
So
Yes.
it's available
Yes,
on
yeah.
both. So that's great. I have it on my phone, so that works good. Where can people find more information about the SNN and upcoming events and membership? Obviously,
Everything's listed on the app. I mean, that's what we decided, because we wanted the app that was going to be interactive. Because again, one of the advantages, any of the members that are on the app, if you're logged in, you can actually send messages to each other on the app.
Oh, you can.
Yes, you can.
I should try that.
Yes.
I've never tried.
As
That's
long as
good.
folk are logged in, you can send messages to folk and it'll come up on them. Nobody else does that. And I thought that was just something a bit unique, so that if you, for instance, had forgotten to say something to somebody, they just go on the app and send them a message.
That's awesome. That's
Yes.
great. So basically, we're interacting offline and online at the same time. So you definitely, if you miss something at the networking event, you can message somebody on the app directly. You don't need to look on LinkedIn or on any other social media. It's like right there. You know exactly who the person is. And
Yeah. Yes.
that's amazing. Okay, so that concludes the first episode of the Scottish National Network podcast. I think I did a fair job with interviewing. I'm not really sure, but I hope you enjoyed this episode, and obviously more episodes will come soon.
Thanks, Bogdan. Really appreciate everything you do. And folks, you follow us on LinkedIn, Scottish National Network. Thank you.
Amazing. Bye.